Good evening, Ghana. Let me welcome you to the WoezorTV's interview. My name is Godfrey Amwafo. Tonight, we're having another exciting conversation. Of course, this time around, we are looking at our health, HIV or AIDS. We are looking at the situation at the moment. Per the statistics that we have at the moment, Ghana is doing well when it comes to our response to the virus. We recording some progress with the latest 2025 estimates showing a decline in new HIV infections and AIDS-related deaths. Now, however, 337,435 people are estimated to be living with HIV, with both men and women, contributing to this. But then we are going to look at the breakdowns of it, the proportion to men, the proportion to women, young, and all that. I'm told that a certain percentage of our youth, have this infection. That is the working age of this country. How, serious is this? And if we don't rise as a country, what will be in the basket for us in the next 5 to 10 years? And so tonight, it's a critical conversation that we are having. My name is Godfrey Amwafo. You know that always you go for a break before I introduce my guest, who is statistically inclined. In fact, he is ready to give you the figures, what we need to do as a country, how dangerous or serious the situation is, and why we need to rise as a country to defeat HIV or AIDS. And so before we go, let me remind you that Manya Clothing, the best in the country at the moment when it comes to local fabrics. In fact, the designs that they will give you, you might think that it's an imported dress or something. Manya Clothing is just here in the country at Tema Community 1. You can call them on 0549107541 and also follow them on all social media handles at Manya Clothing, and they'll sort you out. Whatever occasion it is, even if you just want to wear it in your own residence and all that, just show off, just contact them. This is one of them. One of the beautiful things that they've been doing in this country. My name, like I said, Godfrey Amwafo. Let's go for the break. When we return, my guest is seated. We begin the conversation.
Your flight is ready to leave.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
The virus HIV or AIDS has been with us for quite a long time. We were all kids when we started hearing of it, and up to now, it seems that we are still finding it a bit difficult to deal with it as to whether we can eliminate it totally from our system or not. That is a question that my big man and myself will be discussing and what we need to do to protect ourselves. We know that prevention is better. That's what they always say. The best way is to prevent yourself. So how are we preventing ourselves? Let me introduce my guest who is in the studios with me, Dr. Akanbong Prosper Akanbong. His name is sweet. Very sweet. He is the Director General of Ghana AIDS Commission. He has joined us tonight for you at home watching us on your TV, on your phones, to understand the situation at the moment, critical situation at the moment. From my introduction, I made mention that we are making some progress, but he will let us know what kind of progress it is and the figures for you to appreciate as to whether we are doing well or not. Let me welcome you, sir. Good evening to the interview.
Good evening to
nice
you.
Having you.
And nice to have you. And good evening to your cherished listeners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's been, like I said, ages. Not be today we started hearing it. I'm sure you were even young when you started or something.
Yes.
Tell us, what comes to mind when we talk about HIV/AIDS and your office as a commission? What are you about? What do you stand for?
Okay. Thank you very much once again. And as you rightly said, for some time ago when we were young, the message on HIV was all over the airwaves, either in print media, information on the airwaves. We rapidly respond to to a sickness. Once we get it under control, we forget about it. And then there's always a resurgence. And this resurgence we're seeing again. And especially in this category of youth that we are seeing recently, they may not be privy to the kind of message you and I may have heard over the years. For the Commission, what do we stand for? The Commission is at the center of the national coordination of HIV/AIDS response. We develop the policies for the national response. We develop the strategies and programs. We also bring out the statistics. We build up the partnerships for the response, and then a stakeholder engagements. We are responsible for that, as well as raising the resources for the national response. So these are the core values of the Commission. Addition to that, we stand for the human rights aspects of the disease. If you would understand that HIV goes along with some human rights issues and stigma issues, and a lot of people have been vilified in their workplaces, their churches, environment, even marital statuses, where people have been beaten, spouses have been beaten because of their HIV status. These are all human rights issues.
Really?
The Commission is at the fulcrum of dealing with these issues together with other national agencies. As you rightly said, what is happening in Ghana with respect to HIV? Yes, we are making progress, but little progress at a time. If you look at 2024, when we released our first the national estimates, national and sub-national estimates, we had over 334,747 people living with HIV/AIDS. That accounted for 1.49% of the population. That's by prevalence. But the recent statistics that we released, we have about 337,297. That is now 1.40% prevalence.
That means there's been a decline.
The absolute numbers have gone up, but the prevalence has gone up.
Okay, the prevalence. What do you mean by the prevalence?
Prevalence means that the population people, in terms of population.
So per population?
Per population. It's calculated on the basis of population numbers.
So it means that 2024 could be a less population compared to 2025?
Yeah, our population has definitely grown. Yes. But so once the base grows, the denominator grows, then the percentage will drop. And once the numerator also drops, then the prevalence. So either way.
So does that also means that we are not recording much new infections?
Yes, so we're not recording much new infections. Let me take the statistics for 2024. We had 15,290 new infections. That's quite high, unacceptable. But in 2025, for the new infections, we have 13,792. That is about 2,000 new infections drop for a year's intervention. One of the things we can say is that there is a resurgence in the information again coming back to the public, and people are getting to know options that are available to them, especially from the Commission's aspect and the National AIDS Control Program aspect. So we try to do collaborative work to revamp the knowledge and practices of people towards HIV. So and other collaborators in the sector. So these are the new statistics. But it doesn't mean that once we are making reduction, we are on the way to epidemic control. We are still far from epidemic control. If you take the UNAIDS targets for epidemic control for each country by 2030, that's just about 4 years from now, we should be able to get to a state we call 95, 95, 95. Maybe along the line we can explain that. We are currently a bit away from that. And for us to reach that, we need to step up a lot of our activities to be able to make sure that we get to that level. Quite worrisome with these statistics that I'm giving to you is the fact that if you look at new infections, if you take the age group 15 to 49 years, which is about the workforce group of the country, they account for the 89% of the new infections. Yes. And if you further break down that new infections of the 13,792, the age group 14 years to 25 years, or 15 to 24 years, that age group, which is the school-going age, either SSH or university or tertiary institution, they account for 27.3%.
Oh, how?
And that is a worrisome thing.
How?
And if you look at this age group, this is an age group that would have missed out the information you and I have had over the years. I mean, some of them may not have heard the information, and there's no resurgence of such kind of information. You may want to ask me, why have we not come out with that kind of information again? It's because, one, you know, much of the response was donor fund driven. And once the donor fund comes, these are programmatic tied funds. If the program directive is that let us make awareness, information available, that is where the funds are driven to. If it comes to the fact that we have to go for medications and testing, that's where we direct the funds to. From the very onset, when you and I were hearing the information, there were no much effective treatment. So the obvious thing was to go for prevention, primary prevention. Let the people get to know the information and take make good choices about their sexual life. But with the discovery of very effective treatments, the program funds have gone towards the purchase of commodities to treat people who already have the disease, so to give hope and life back to the people who have the medication. So that those dynamics of the years have made us to shift from that kind of primary prevention to dealing with the issues at the program.
Can't you make a case to the donors that, look, where we are moving to, we need to go back to?
These are priority programs that are determined at the country level as well as the global level. So you need to tie those funds, availability of funds, to what is available. If you're going to purchase medications for people, you weigh that against if you have to take that medicine and give for prevention. Know that there are always some components of co-financing where the country can also finance component of it, and this is where we can redirect our co-financing to where we feel our priority areas are.
Is it expensive to finance this? How much is it costing us?
Oh, it costs us. It's quite expensive to respond. Over the years, the Global Fund for HIV/AIDS has been quite substantial in supporting the Ghana's response. The last grant cycle that they provided for the grant cycle 7 was well over $234 million. The current grant cycle that we're working on for the 2027 to 2029 grant cycle year is about $199 million with government co-finance some of the activities. So it's quite huge amount of money to respond to that.
We are told that with your strategies as a commission, you've been able to reduce the new infection for about 14%. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How did you come about that?
Well, it's first of all, we needed to get the stakeholders to work together. Synergy is very important than working in silos. So the commission, together with the programs and other stakeholders, started engaging. So the stakeholder engagement, so we had complementary activities that we jointly ran together and raising the awareness to people. We also increased the self-testing mechanisms. I mean, for any public event, we're always together, either together with the program and other CSOs that are into the intervention, that we work together to make sure that we don't work in different places. We come together to work as a group. More so, we then went back to our national strategic plan. What did we put in the national strategic plan from 2020 to 2025? Can we focus on our national strategic plan? The most important aspect, we all focus on that and started following the national strategic plan, especially the strategic aspect of prevention, the strategic national strategy on prevention. We all focus on following on that aspect. So there was synergy, and then there was awareness, and then people started thinking about it again.
What are key partners in this success?
Also, we have a lot of international key partners. WHO is there, the bilaterals are there, the US government is there, the Canadian government and other bilateral organizations are there. UNAIDS is there. We have the local organizations, people live with HIV/AIDS, academia is there, government agents are there, Ministry of Health, Ghana AIDS Commission, the Ministry of Finance, even the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because that plays our neighbors, the cross-border issues. And then we have Ministry of Education, who are also very key stakeholders. And then we have Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana and other civil society organizations that are part of the stakeholders.
Per your statistics, I mean, the death toll of these, is it going up or down? We've
been able to reduce deaths from HIV and AIDS. From the last statistics, the estimates that we gave in 2024, we've been able to reduce up to 2,013 deaths by the interventions.
In a year?
Interventions mean keeping people in a year. Keeping people on treatment would prevent deaths. So linking people to treatment is a very important aspect, and also keeping people who are already on treatment.
Okay.
Because the tendency is that once people start getting well with treatment, they want to forget about it and don't go for treatment. So linking people to treatment and keeping people on treatment has been one of the strategies in getting people to live. But most importantly is the fact that we vamped up the need for self-testing.
Okay.
You know, if you have to go to do tests at the hospital, I mean, first of all, the stigma associated with the disease, the fear of you being declared positive, and then once you're declared positive, you start look at you with two eyes and that kind of thing. So people, even those who want to test, just get there, but they don't man up enough to go and test. What happens? They don't test. But we've vamped up the self-testing mechanisms, where you can just take the strict test your room, in the quiet of your room, you can do the test.
You have your own results.
You have your own results. You may not like your results, but eventually you come to like it.
But the fear will still be there.
The fear will still be there, but it's now confined to yourself. You understand? And if you look at the fact that our mid-year estimates that we're planning that we would be able to test about 990,000 people for testing, we'll be able to reach almost 1 million, a little bit over 1 million.
Oh, really?
Yes. And people would, in fact, our last program we had at the GradSAC program at the University of Ghana, we actually ran out of test kits.
Really? People really
want to take and test. You surprisingly,
that death sentence thing doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay, because look, frankly, there are people who are living more healthier lives than you and I, or they're looking healthy in appearance and even physique than you and I. If they tell you they have HIV, you will not believe. The medicines are so effective. Once you take them, you can get to a point where the virus in your blood is undetectable. Once you reach that state, you can't even transmit it anymore, and therefore you can live your ordinary life. You can't transmit. But we don't say you are cured, because though it's undetectable, the virus may find itself hiding in some of the sentinel areas in your body, like your lymph nodes, your bone marrow, or maybe your gonads for females, like your ovaries, or males, your testicles, or somewhere hiding. So you can't say that the virus is completely out of your body, but you have reached undetectable levels where when they take your blood sample, they don't see any virus in it, and at that level you are unlikely to transmit. This is the most important aspect that we want to emphasize, that you can get to that level. And those who get to that level, we still want them to be on treatment. That's what we mean keeping on treatment. Because once they go off treatment, the hidden virus in those sentinel areas would research, and then you can start to infect again. And therefore, when the laboratory test tells you that you've reached that level, we still encourage you to take your medications and stay on it.
Can the virus, go out of your system once?
The virus can go out of your system, but we can't completely see until we've tested every sentinel area to know that it doesn't exist in your system anymore. People have reached that stage, and over 5, 6, 7 years they're testing, they can't find the virus in the blood, but that's not to say it has completely gone out of your system. Yes, new research is coming. Maybe when we get to that discussion, new researches are coming where those new medications that they're developing will take the virus out of the system. In fact, one of the new medications that's being developed is to develop a medication that can slice the virus out of your DNA and take it out of your body. And once it slices the virus out of your DNA, it doesn't become part of your system anymore.
At what stage are we at?
So some of these medications are reaching stage 3 clinical trial.
Okay, so which stage?
Stage 3 clinical trial is where you take a selected group of people you want to try, a very small group of people you want to try. Stage 1 is the development, and then you start with mice. Stage 2, you look at the other aspects of it, going beyond mice and just 1 or 2 selected persons. Stage 3, a very limited number of people where you can test and see whether it is effective.
So after stage 3, where are you going?
We'll go to stage 4 and then stage 5. Each of them have their own clinical definitions.
So imagine if we get stage 3 being successful.
Yeah, we go to stage 4.
Stage 4
and then stage 5.
How many years did it take them to get to stage 3?
Well, this new development has been going on for some time, and there are a series of them that are going on. For example, there are a series of them that are going on. Lenacapavir, one of the medicines that we use to prevent new infections, was going alongside with some of these ones, and that medicine was already in in progress, but they used it for prevention and became successful. And because of the success, it was already in the system. The stage 1 to stage 5 stage was very rapid. But because new molecules are being developed, a lot of clinical tests have done. Toxicity, acceptability, side effects, and all those ones have to be looked at before they are rolled out. Yes, for the past 5 years, these have been in development. Yeah.
If you look at these figures, could it be that you have more, but because people are not testing or something, the diagnosing and all those things?
So let me tell you what we use as statistics to I want you to understand that we've given the national data, we have the sub-national data that includes every region, even sub-national data that includes every district. And if you go to a district, even the hotspots in the district, we have data.
Okay.
So if you take a Klagon, for example, we can tell you exactly how many new infections have come from Klagon, how many people are living with HIV in Klagon. And that is how the statistics is very robust. It's a very robust system determining that. Yes, as you rightly said, these figures, as we generate them, we take a lot of factors into play. One, our data gathering process includes not only Ghana AIDS Commission.
Okay.
We use the National Sentinel data. We use the Ghana Demographic Health Survey.
Okay.
We use the other statistical tools based on health-seeking behaviors. We also use clinical data, and we aggregate that and do the population dynamics before we come out with the statistics. Now, you would see from the data, if you break it down properly, there is a female to male preponderance. There's 3:1. We can explain that for every level of the estimate, there's always more females than males. It is because of our data gathering system. If you take the National Sentinel Survey, it tests all pregnant women who go to antenatal care. So therefore, the data is available for pregnant women. But it does not automatically mean that if the pregnant woman is positive, you can infer that on the husband.
Is it possible?
You can't infer that.
Okay,
data.
You must
show evidence that it can be. So you must do an index testing.
Okay.
Index testing means you test the husband. You understand? And if you look at the Ghana Demographic Health Survey studies, most of it has also been done on women, health-seeking behaviors, condom use, and all those ones put together. And generally, women have a better health-seeking behaviors than men. Because when you are sick, so why you just headache, you are going to hospital. The woman, a lady will just get in, so I have to go and check why I have headache, and therefore they are more likely to be tested than men. And so all these ones makes the skew of the test towards women, and therefore you are likely to get more women in the data than men. But one of the things we want to do is to increase the male testing as well, so that once we can test and get equivalent numbers of testing, then we can properly aggregate the data and see whether there's true female preponderance in this whole issue. The second issue is the fact that the female's anatomy, the genital anatomy, is a receptacle. The male virtually deposits the sperms there, and if they are containing the viruses, it's almost like she has received everything in total. You understand? And therefore the risk of infection is high, and there are many more HIV receptors in the female's vagina than the male's penis. You understand? For the male, your risk of infection increases with repeated episodes. It increases with repeated episodes.
So,
or
several sex,
yes. And or if you have bridges in the skin of your skin, or you have infection, STI infections, these increase your risk of infection. But if the skin is intact, no STIs, the risk of infection increases with repeated episodes.
So you can.
Whereas a woman with one deposit is all enough for it to get.
If I'm understanding like what somebody might be thinking, if a man has sex with a woman who has an infection for just once,
yes,
it's likely you might not get it or something.
So it depending on what happens. You understand? If you have breach in your skin, or the prepuce of the skin, you are more likely to get it. If you have gonorrhea, syphilis, or all those other infections, you are likely to get it.
If you don't have any,
then the risk is much lower than the woman.
Lower.
Wow. So that is where the anatomy of the female genitalia is very important in increasing the risk of infection.
How come we are recording more for the youth as well?
Well, these are people, as we said from the onset of the discussion, they have not heard the kind of message you and I have heard, the preventive message. And these are people who are also not, even if you have the message, these were on televisions, radio. These are people who are used to their smartphones, social media and everything. And the message is not properly available to them on social media. These are also a category of people who have all definitions of sex activities, hookups. Well, I mean, you can name them. You can name them as many times as you can name them. And if you look at the study, I think by some of the media houses that have done across the country on the youth, in that particular age group, the desire to use condom is very low. There are also an age group that face a lot of stigma. Can you imagine a 15-year-old boy who goes to pharmacy shop and say, "I want to buy a condom"? First of all, they're going to ask you, "How old are you?"
How old are you?
Or a 16-year-old person or 17-year-old person, "How old are you?" And that creates that stigma around the pitches of the safe mechanisms that will protect the person.
Even
from
some
that.
to mention it that buying condom is like something for them.
And the young ladies are more comfortable going to buy pregnancy preventing pills than to go and purchase a condom. Because yes, go, I want an emergency pregnancy preventing kit, and they are easy. In fact, they actually have done their handbags so wherever they go, already meaning that she has no intention of using protection.
So they think about pregnancy more than
they are worried about that more than the virus or other infections as well. So these are a combination of factors that have made this age group a little more vulnerable.
I know when you enroll in SHS, I remember my time, they asked us to bring urine and other things for other tests. I don't know.
The health screen.
Do you do such? Do you test the students as well?
No, you can't test the students for HIV because it's provided in Act and law. The person must consent. And when the person doesn't consent, you don't have the right to do a test on the person without his or her permit or the consent of somebody who is taking care of the person. You understand? So even if the person even consents to the test, the person must have appropriate counseling to take the results, because sometimes, because of the stigma associated with the disease, the person may take the results and go into depression, go into all sorts of mental situations that you need to manage it differently. So yes, you need the consent of the person, and one test does not confirm that you have HIV.
How many tests?
You need to have, it's an algorithm of 3 tests. So you have to go through that algorithm of 3 tests, and when all of them are positive, then you are now declared a positive patient who would now be enrolled on treatment.
So after the first, you are not done.
You're not done. So you see the last security recruitment process that they said 1,300. Well, a bit of a misunderstanding, because that alone doesn't make the people have HIV. First of all, they have to go through the 3 algorithms of tests before they can declare that they are positive. Secondly, they needed to have counseling prior to that, and agreeing that they will take the test to that. So it is, let me say by law, that it is not a prerequisite for employment. It is not a prerequisite for employment. It's not a prerequisite for promotion, because unless the prerequisite is that if the person's HIV status makes him sick and unfit, but being positive does not automatically mean you are sick and unfit. So
those people that were disqualified, they've been infringed upon their rights?
Their rights have been infringed upon.
What are you doing about?
We are having discussions with most of the recruitment.
Esan se men tutu mama mrase na men pese mama mra be yirenti mi di biara Ghana na me num biara nso Ghana se ba no afa hye ne apunto biara se dia me di dem ho adiara ne officer bites Na husuo dedi wo de obehwie biara mu. Occasion biara ya mamre dedi wo mu no de e kire yensu. E wo afahye eye ni apuntu ase de. Obetimi de officer bitters asom wo hoho. Unumu a e koyo. Officer bitters e made in Ghana. So pen dudu etu a Frestapos Enterprise e wo ahomatrumfo iso. Officer bitters who ye guy. Officer bitters be ye guy wate. Num no nyanse mu won ton ba nipa won di mfie du wotwe. Ensasa apemfo ne abata wo mankoda no fo enumbie. Nnum ensan fan kaka. FDA aje dwedie nkrato ya tum.
Institutions to let them understand that it is not rightful for them to disqualify a person because the person has HIV.
Okay.
If it's on fitness and the person has HIV, assess the fitness against the sickness.
Okay.
If the person is not fit by the physique that you need, then you can say that you are not fit by the physique.
Because you said one test cannot even prove it.
One test cannot even prove it. So are you by that inferring that any person who is within the organization, let's say I'm employed as an immigration officer, for example, and I test positive, you're going to sack me? No. You're going to ask me to go for treatment to make myself fit for the job.
Yeah.
That is the right of the employer to say, this person, you must take treatment to make yourself fit for the job. Once you're not fit, you can be medically grounded and then you lose your job. So this is where we're saying that the testing the person for HIV as a prerequisite is not. If the person's physique does not meet, and you now do the test to see that it's HIV, that is the reason why the person's physique does not meet your recruitment criteria, then on that basis, yes, you can talk to a person and say, look, you have not met our criteria and we would not be employing you.
It's just like maybe you have a malaria, you can be sacked because
you can be sacked because you have, or even let's say someone has hypertension. Do you sack the person because the person has hypertension? You believe that this person will take his hypertensive medications and be strong. Just as we all believe that an HIV person will take his medication and be strong.
But can HIV infected person do this tedious work of an army?
Do you know what? Those who are on the medications who have reached undetectable levels, do you know what they do? Some are even sprinters, 100-meter sprinters. Some are heavy-duty workers, machinery. Some are working down the mines. Some are working in very, very hectic situations. Much stronger.
So if you take a medication, you have the strength to do. You live normal.
Yes, you live there. And let me say that a lot of healthy people. You can imagine that if I show you the statistics of number of people who are on treatment, of the 337,000 I'm talking about, those who are on treatment, there are over 80% of those who are on treatment. And that 80% is moving with us on daily basis. You may not even know, or sometimes you can't even know that they are sick.
So those on treatment, can they transmit the disease or something?
No. So if you are on treatment and you reach the level called undetectable levels in your virus. Now let me explain that. Once you start to take treatment, for the first part, every 3 months you have to go for laboratory checkup just to check see you're stable. 6 months they test you for the viral load in your blood, and every 6 months they take the viral load. You may start from a very high viral load. With the treatment, you crash the virus to very low levels. With subsequent treatment, the virus goes out of your blood, not your system. So it's not detected in your blood.
So you say it can be in your bones and
it can be your bones, your bone marrow, your lymph nodes, and all those. At that level, when it cannot be detected in your blood, then you are unlikely to transmit.
Because the transmission is likely through the blood or something?
It's through the blood or serum, the fluid. And once it's not in the blood or the fluid, you can't transmit. And such a person who is strong like you and I, why can't that person be a driver? Why can't he sit in a consulting room and consult? Or even go to his farm and farm? Or if he's a heavy duty blaster on the road like a construction or a mason, why can't that person work?
Or an MTTD.
Or an MTTD.
You can stand at the roadside
and then direct traffic and then
a journalist in the studio.
A journalist in the studio working to do your research and then your publications.
So
and
there's
news.
there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that.
You made an earlier comment. When you come, let's go for a first break. When you come, you talk about. You said that we are not getting used to it, how to live with it and all that. So you explain it to how we are getting used to or knowing how to live with the HIVs and all that. Because when it started, it was very scary. Yeah. And you go to the barber shop, you even be scared to use a blade and all that. I'll be here with Dr. Akanbong Prosper Kharmacelle. He is the Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission. He has, elaborated on the HIV, AIDS virus, the new infections and all that, and what the commission stands for, the rights of the affected people or those with the infection. So one of the statements that he made, I think that you'll be thinking about, has to do with the military recruitment and all that. So when you come back, we have more to talk about. Then let me remind you that Maya Clothing is the one giving us the beautiful shirts for all the episodes that you've seen. And what I'm wearing at the moment is from their camp. Maya Clothing is located at Tema. And I know that after here, maybe you tried them. Maya Clothing.
Sure. That's elegant.
Yeah.
Very flamboyant and very picturesque.
Solid. Maya Clothing. You have a customer here. 0549107541 is their number at Maya Clothing on all social media handles. You can reach out to them and get the description that Doctor just made of what I'm wearing at the moment. Let's go for the break. When we return, we'll continue the conversation.
Can he tee up someone in red? And it goes to one.
Do not say! What the 5 champions league? You want to know? I be the real goat, chairman. I'm the real goat. The left magician. The left magician. Who is the goat? Ghana Jollof or Nigerian Jollof?
Ghana Jollof has no co-equal. The smell alone. Oh my God.
No, that shift. You two they lie, eh? Now the same stew when they use cook the rice and then they go put them for top.
Hey! You are lying. Ghana Jollof.
Are you busy? Forget everybody, yeah? My guy. Put some respect on the goat. On the goat. The only goat I know lives in Tema. Every year, we dey give to you back. We are talking about BET. I want some Yajiaji face. Except be the goat, huh? My guy, him be the goat.
Though our choice of goats may differ in football, music, and jollof, Alomo Bitters always brings us together. Alomo, experience greatness in every moment.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18, nor recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
All right, welcome back, Ghana, for the second half of the conversation. We're still here with the Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Akanbong Prosper Akanbong. He has been giving us, what we need to know about the state of this country when it comes to HIV or AIDS infections and all that. We've been enjoying the conversation. Now, let's look at the regional breakdowns. That's where we are moving into, because from their report, Greater Accra region, Bono region, and the Doma East, these are regions that probably, I've just selected some few out of the regions that we have predominant when it comes to these infections. What is driving this? What is happening in these regions?
I would say 7-8 regions are our biggest hotspots. Okay. Greater Accra, Ashanti region, Bono, in terms of regional prevalence, is always leading. Okay. They are at 2.2%.
2.2%. Bono.
Yes, Bono region. Eastern region is also one of the places. Western, Volta, Volta because of the long border issue as well, and the Kaplawo issues and other areas. Okay. Then you come to the Western North, and then the Central region as well. So the drivers of this are basically economic activities. And these are areas of economic activity concentration, and people move to these areas. The rural city migration, and when they come, they they are vulnerable to a whole lot of economic risk of economic activities, and that's why we're having high incidences in these regions. If you take some of the regions like the Western region, as I was alluding earlier on, one of the drivers of the new infections is, as I said, economic activity, and the new kid on the block is the galamsey. Most of the extractive industry areas where you have extractive industry, you have a lot of commercial activity. So if you may take a whole region, the region may be disproportionately affected based on the fact that certain zones of the region have high levels of extractive activity, and they have the highest incidence per district or per town. So this is one of the driving factors.
So the extractive means that mining either gold or oil.
Mining either gold or oil, or even other aspects of extraction. You would always find that as well.
So galamsey areas.
Galamsey areas, with hotspots. Even the upper east, upper west, savannah, and then northeast, where we have very low prevalences. When you take where there are extractive activities, take the Talansi and the Bolgatanga municipality close to Talansi district where there's gold mine, those areas have higher prevalences than the whole region.
Why is this so?
Yeah, because there's migration. Because there's that area, we have the cardinal mines, and therefore there are other economic activities that go with that, and therefore, I mean, the risk of sex trade is very high as well. So, and when you get such kind of extractive areas too, well, other comorbidities exist as well, like people using drugs and the use of illicit the alcohol consumptions and other things. These are things that would impair your sense of responsible sex behavior, and therefore you are likely to take risky sex adventures. And those people who migrate to do such kind of work there may not have the power to bargain for safe sex, and therefore they take it as and when it is provided for them. That is a risk factor for higher levels. But as I said, the 7 regions are our high burdened regions in Ghana.
Let's look at the 95. How did you put it?
95.
Achieving 95. What does
95
it mean?
So the first 95 is the fact that by our Sentinel survey, we estimate that a certain number of people are living with HIV in the country, 337, about 337,000. The first 95 means that we want 95% of those people to know their status.
Okay. So out of the 337,000, you want 95
of them to know their status. Okay. Later you can ask why not 100%.
Yes.
Then out of that 95, we want that 95% of this 95 should be on treatment.
So after knowing, you'll be on treatment?
Will be on treatment.
Okay.
Then that 95, we want that 95 of people percent of people live on taking treatment to have their virus level undetected.
Okay. So first, you know. Second, you'll be on treatment.
And third, your virus is not detected.
So that's the 95. Okay.
Why do we do this? When you do this, epidemiologically, means less than 5% of the population do not know their status.
Okay.
Less than 75%, less than 5% will also not be on treatment. Okay. Now that is epidemiologically stable enough for you to move towards what you call epidemic control.
Okay.
Okay. Once you get epidemic control, the new infections are so low, they are not significantly increasing the number of people existing with the disease. And therefore, the number of deaths have also reduced because 95% people are on treatment and they are not dying. And therefore, you have a stable population of HIV people living with HIV. This is where we want the epidemiological control. Where are we now as a country? For the first 95, we're only at 79%.
Oh, since we started the fight against.
Yes. The second one, we are at 80%.
That's the treatment?
The treatment. And the last one, we're at 92%.
Oh, you're doing well on
We're doing well on the last one. But it's the first one that we are, first and second one.
Yeah.
So as we said, how did we reduce the deaths? We reduced the deaths by, last year, this 80% was 68%.
Just last year.
2024. Yes.
Okay, 2024.
2024. This was 68%.
Okay. And it moved to?
We moved to 80%. So
in 2025.
2025.
Okay.
So this is where we have moved a lot of people on treatment.
Okay.
Making sure that we live long, and that is how we have vetted the deaths.
Do you do quarterly review or something?
So we have quarterly what we call situation room.
Okay.
It's like the when the US Capitol is the situation room. It's actually a situation room where we take the line data. Those who are sitting in the clinic and taking the data. Those who are doing the sentinel surveys. Then what we have gathered from the Ghana Demographic Health Survey, continuous surveys, and from the Statistical Service Department, we sit together as stakeholders and start looking at how the data is progressing. So already going forward, the data for 2026 that will come out in 2027 is already being analyzed.
Okay.
So by the close of December, and when all the data has now returned for the last quarter of 2026, we should be ready to start producing the results for 2026 by the end of the second quarter of 2027.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So somewhere June thereabouts.
Somewhere June, we'll get the data for 2026 coming up. And we hope to make significant improvement on this.
On the treatment.
Yes. So therefore, the first 79%, where we want to be 95%, is where we feel that we have to bump up treatment quickly. How do we do that? It's part of the self-tests that we want to make available. And this is in our national prevention strategy. We want to bump up the self-testing where people can readily test and go and test for their know their status. If you can't go to the antiretroviral therapy center to take the test kit, or you get it at a program like a festival where we usually do the distribution, we are having a discussion with the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana to liaise with the community pharmacies, where as you're going to, let's say, a certain pharmacy shop to buy your paracetamol, you can have the opportunity to say, oh, I want to have access to an HIV test kit. And then they take your details, Prosper Akanbong, age, the telephone contact number, that statistics is taken. I can take it, I have the telephone number of the center, then I can take it, go to my room, test, and I can call back to say, these are my results.
How
and that will be rolled onto the national data, you understand? Now, we have had the first meeting with the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. We are developing the concept note for that agreement, and that's one of the reasons. That was one of the mechanisms we want to use to test as many as people as possible.
Okay.
We also planning and developing the framework to allow to prevent new infections. So we're trying to bring out condom vending machines. Over the last 2 weeks or 2 months, you've heard me talking about how we want to deploy the condom vending machines. It is delayed a little bit because we are learning from the previous mistakes of our previous condom vending machines. They were established when you could go with 50 peso coin and get a pack of 3 condoms. Okay. Now greedy people will go and have maybe 20-50 pesos coins in their pocket. They drop pick and they empty the whole box, denying other people of access to the condom. Now, if the box is full of coins, somebody in need of something, he wants something to eat, or he wants a cigarette to buy, or he wants something to drink, knows that this box has a lot of coins. Then he goes with a sledgehammer pine, breaks it, and so
we have a long way to go.
We have a lot to go. So the deployment of the new condom vending machines would need stakeholder engagement. For example, I said we want to deploy them to lorry stations, to the place of gather, nightclubs and other places, stadia and other places. It will mean that if it's at the lorry stations, the station masters are stakeholders.
They will guide it.
So they will guide it and protect it, and they will also be part of the response. If it's at the nightclubs, then the nightclub owners are also stakeholders, and that's how we want to see the engagement to go on, so that it doesn't look like it's a standalone Ghana Youth Commission, and if a Ghana Youth Commission personnel is not there, that place, that condom vending machine is unguided. We also want to promote the use of condoms, really available condoms. So our free condom distributions mechanism would continue, especially in areas where people can easily access, especially gathering communities at festivals and other programs that people come to. But more importantly, we have been able to go through the first stage of the Food and Drugs Authority approval for the new medications that prevent infection, lenacapavir. So we've gone through that approval stage, and hopefully by the first quarter of next year, we will deploy that.
Okay.
When we deploy, there are criteria for people to take that medication. And we will start with the key populations. Key populations mean people who are more risk of getting infection. Female sex workers, men having sex with men, intravenous drug users, people who have openly declared to multiple sex partners, and other vulnerable populations. Understand? And we will start with those ones who can come under programmatic cover. But we will not be oblivious of the general population that people may need to look into their lifestyle and say, oh, I am a serial monogamist. I have a girlfriend today for 3 months. I get tired with the next 3 months I have another one. That is a risky lifestyle. And if you qualify by the criteria, then you can also have those protective injections to prevent you from getting HIV.
That will be effective.
That's what we're looking up to, and it's in our program, in our strategic plan for the prevention, primary prevention for next year.
Next year.
Yeah, starting from next year.
Very well. But are you aware that people don't like the condoms you give free?
Yeah. So we have a condom and lubricant strategy.
Okay.
We are reviewing it. Hopefully by September, we'll come out with a new condom and lubricant strategy. Okay. Now, we say condom and lubricant because sometimes people misguide us. The commercial sex workers, they use a lot of lubricants because sometimes the female sex worker may have several partners in a day. They may need to use lubricants to protect themselves so that they don't get cuts and all those ones. So we put it together as condoms and lubricant strategy. People have come out with complaints about condoms. Some say they are smaller for the Ghanaian man. Some have said that they are thicker and less
smaller
sensitive. Smaller in size. Some say they are too thick and the lubricants dry up quickly. So we have taken all that into, we've gathered the data around the condom strategy. Now, in our next condom and lubricant strategy, we will be introducing more sensitive condom programs, especially that we have other stakeholders who are condom producers, who are now joining us, and we are looking at those condoms as part of program. Once we get the market survey and we see what are the most popular kind of condoms, we have a blend of condoms, not just one type of condom in our condom strategy.
That will work.
Yes.
And I pray that it does for us as a country. But then what is the assurance when it comes to the drugs, those that are getting the new infections? Do you have enough drugs for them?
Yeah, so it means anytime, and that's one of the financial costs that we want to reduce new infections as much as possible. Anytime we are rolling on new infected people to treatment, there's a cost component to that. And therefore we want to make sure that we don't have as many new people rolling on to reduce new infections as much as possible. The drugs are not that cheap. It costs between $33 to $55 per year per person treatment for the drugs. So you can imagine if we enrolled all the 337,000 on treatment, what it means in terms of the treatment. It's only the medications, but also the monitoring aspect of the treatment. That's going to be costed. The viral load, the laboratory tests that go with all these ones are all part of the cost of it. So it's quite expensive. Yes. And we look at the fact that the more we reduce new infections, the more the marginal cost increases can also be reduced as much as possible. Yeah.
But is it free for the patient?
It's free for the patient and the program.
So you bear the cost of it?
So the government bears the cost together with the global fund, and government has counterpart funding to that. If you have your way, should it be the thing we should do? So the way forward is that, in fact, government is already looking at the way forward. Okay. And of course, this is structured very much in the Accra Reset Initiative. because of we're taking that looking at the outline of donor funding coming in. It has been dwindling over the years.
Yeah.
If you take the first grant cycle to current grant cycle, the first one that we had received ranging from $438 million, and it's coming all the way down to just about $190 million. It's going to go further down.
Yeah.
Yet our numbers are increasing. There must be a point where we have to take sovereignty of our own response. Yes. So how are we doing that as a commission and working under government policy? One, we want to see how we can produce the medications locally. Not only the medications, but the other commodities, the test kits, the condoms, the medications themselves, the monitoring tools. Can we produce this locally? Yes, we from the Ghana Youth Commission have already done a primary survey of the companies that are in Ghana here that can possibly produce these commodities. 2 companies have stood out clearly, capable of starting production. The limitation to that is that they need WHO pre-qualification certificate. And once we get to that stage, we should be able to start local production. Why do we emphasize on local production? Much of the aid that comes to us, as foreign aid that comes, a greater proportion goes back to them, to their companies, to buy their medications. So we're actually receiving the money and giving it back to foreign companies, the foreign countries. And therefore, if we can produce these medications ourselves locally, we raise the funds ourselves as a government, and then we, as a country, and then we purchase these medications locally. Maybe cheaper and more convenient and to the economy as well. Okay. The next way we are looking at is how do we sustain this response? We look at local investment structure, from private sector getting involved in the investment process, and then looking at what is available under law. If you take the Ghana AIDS Commission Act, Act 938, there is a provision of a 0.5% of the District Assembly Common Fund to finance the decentralized HIV response.
Does it come?
It does come.
Okay.
But how effectively do we use that? We have to start looking at those aspects of sustainability. You understand? Once we get that, and we can make effective use of all these investment cases, including private sector, and then other organizations, philanthropic organizations, we should be able to build a sustainable response as a country. We're not going to say that we'll completely do away with foreign aid, but it will only come at our dictum. If you're going to give us our aid, it can only come for us to do A, B, C, D, and not for them to come and dictate to us what we should do. You understand? And that is where the commission look at. So we've developed a sustainability framework which is quite structured as to how we can migrate from foreign donor dependence, and also an investment case that can come alongside that one. That investment case will provide for the sustained response as we go forward with response with respect to national response.
We have a lot to talk about. My time might not even permit us. But what would you say has been the major challenge?
The major challenge to the national is stigma and discrimination.
Okay.
I'll start with that. Usually people say the financial aspect, but I'll start with the stigma and discrimination. If we can fight stigma, then we can fight the disease. We've created so much fear and stigma around the disease to the extent that even people who want to help themselves develop what we call internal stigma. There's a difference between the external stigma, people put the stigma on you from outside. But when you start to blame yourself internally,
you feel guilty.
You feel guilty yourself. And it's because of the societal pressure or societal opinion on what has caused you that disease. That is the biggest problem that we face. If we can overcome stigma, a lot of people go testing, a lot of people would go be on treatment, and we can bring this disease under epidemic control. But the next aspect is of course the financial aspect. If we need to get a sustainable framework for the national response, make money available for the decentralized responses, and make sure that whatever PESWA that goes into that district level, regional level, is effective in bringing about reductions in new infections. Yes.
Our goal as a country is to end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030.
Yes.
Realistically, can we, looking at where we are now?
We can with this multiple strategies to prevent new infections.
Okay.
And also multiple strategies to put people on treatment. Because one of the reasons why people leave treatment is the fact that they want a quick cure. They want to go to a herbalist, want to go to a pastor to cure them. We are also talking with the faith-based organizations. When they come, you can cure them their spiritual well-being, but also complement us to do the physical healing. Don't let them throw their medicines away. Heal them spiritually. And therefore also talking with the herbalists as well. If you have a herbal product that is very effective in HIV treatment, bring it. We have various ways of testing. We can become complementary so that they don't sequester our patients away. And then they only come back from those centers when they are moribund. And that is the reasons why we still get new HIV deaths. Because people have either left the treatment to go look for unavailable cures from somewhere. And by the time they are returning, they are moribund. Nothing much can be done for them. Or people have had they have had infections, have refused to go for treatment because of the stigma. And by the time they are incapable of making decisions for themselves, that's when they are rushed to hospital. At those stages, it becomes difficult to reverse the disease. So we can make progress up to 2030, the landmark that we've given to ourselves. Yes, our curves are still very high. We need to bend them down from the new infections to almost zero, and the HIV deaths have to bend down to almost zero so that we can get the new epidemic control. We feel that with a sustained response, we should be able to bend the curves closer, if not to the target, very close to the targets. And once we keep our eye on the ball after 2030, we should bring it to epidemic control.
Solid.
Yeah.
Give us your final words.
My final words is let me use the opportunity to thank you and your team for the opportunity to bring this information to Ghanaians. HIV is still present. It is still a public health threat. Please, it is not a death sentence. As I always say, wherever I go, there are some diseases that are even more harmful than HIV, and people can easily talk about them. Why can't people talk about HIV? Let us remove the community stigma. Let us remove the social stigma to the extent that we don't cause the patients to develop internalized stigma, so that every person living with HIV/AIDS can be free about to go for medications, to go for treatment, live freely in society, mingle with society, work with society, enjoy with society, and be a normal Ghanaian living in Ghana happily. This is our call from Ghana AIDS Commission, and it's a national call that we should all respond to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akanbong Prosper Kharmacelle. He is the Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission. You've heard it all. It's no more, a death sentence. Just first, you should prevent it. Or if you can, just prevent yourself from it. Don't, let it come close to you. If not, then stick to the directives. Just take your drugs, be on your medication, because you can be so strong whilst having that virus, and you might not even know that you have it. So it's no more scary anymore. It doesn't also mean that rush for it. Okay, let's protect ourselves, and this is why WoezorTV has added its strength to back the Ghana AIDS Commission and bringing him here to do this, continue the campaign and educate us, all of us, on it. It's a good night, and I'm happy that we had this conversation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you.
US Maya Clothing, always 054910 at Temacom 1. Look at them. It's a good night.